Once we got the costumes and stuff, I was pretty convinced that it would be today, or Sunday. So it was definitely a shock when it finally happened. Like that, you know, you're going and you're dressed like a cowgirl. Definitely a shell shock. But yeah, once I got out there, it still hasn't sunk in that I'm out of there. I still expect to just walk out of the diary room or something. So it's really strange. I think that he's going to struggle with it initially. It's definitely going to be a challenge for him and really different because he was dealing with a lot of my emotional stuff in there. So I think in one regard it'll be a lot easier for him now because he won't have to deal with all that and he'll only have his own worries, and that they're very few because he's unfazed by a lot of stuff. But obviously he's going to have that same issue of missing me and that sort of thing. But I think all in all he'll grab onto the fun of it and have a good time. Realistically, I know I would have survived. Like, I wouldn't have, crashed and burnt, but I can't put a price on what he did for me in there. And it just showed me just how much I can rely on him and my relationship with him. And to know that one other human being cares so much about your emotional well-being is just the best feeling in the world. And I feel like the luckiest girl on the planet. Yeah, Bodie was a weird one because at the start, I sort of had a bit of an understanding with him, and, when he was being a little bit dismissive of a few people, I pulled him aside and had a chat and said, I don't reckon you even realise that you're having this effect on people, but I thought that you being the sort of person that you are, you'd want to know, because I think that you're the sort of person that would want to include the whole group and not have that effect on people. You'd want to be a positive sort of an influence. And he said, yeah, Hayley, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate you pulling me aside and saying that because no one else did, and now that I'm aware of it, I'll take note and I'll make an effort. And then, the next night he has a drink and says, everything I said, whatever. And that really was a nasty thing to say. From anyone else, I would have laughed it off, and that's why everyone said, why didn't you just laugh it off? That's why, because we actually had a pre-existing understanding of what I thought we did. For Demi to have been calling us fake the whole way through, but for us to have had no idea that she felt that way, says to me that she was the one being fake. Because if you saw any of the conversations between Demi and I when she was teaching me belly dancing and we were in the rewards room, all that sort of stuff, you would never have known she had a problem with me if you were standing in my position. And as far as I'm concerned, every person in that house knew how I felt about them, and I had no idea how she felt about me. So if anybody was being fake, it was Demi. Emma, I would have to say, unfortunately, in there I had the highest opinion of Emma. Since I've come out, the things that I've learnt she said behind my back have definitely led me to the conclusion that she's, being fake, which is disappointing. Obviously, I'd love to see Andrew there, but I've got a little bit of selfish twin Jimmy as well that wants him to come out this Sunday. Definitely, if I had my choice, it would be Travis. But I think there's a few people in there that'll give it a really red hot shot. Like Jamie, he'll give it a good shot. He's got he's using his head a lot. Nick, because he's had a really hard week, and I think that people have probably seen an ugly side of Nick. It would be disappointing to see him go because I don't think he's had enough time to adjust, and I'd hate to see that his entire time in the house was adjusting. So it'd be good to see him relax, but I think realistically with his behaviour this week, he might go. Oh, well, other than waiting for Andrew, which is going to be a huge part of, the next however long,